neat deal that they just showed on that ad. And as always, I'd love to hear from you.
What if they did that on purpose? Just because they knew people still would have
Y'all aren't ready for this one. Exodus took place in America, and the true Nile is the Mississippi River. Moses was born here and was buried in Utah. Pay attention to this one because I'm going to be showing you how much of the Old Testament actually took place here in the Americas. When Moses split the Red Sea, he was leading the Israelites into California. For centuries, California was depicted as an island in all the older maps, even labeled with having a Red Sea. So if cartographers of the past were really mistaken, why do so many maps have this exact same mistake with such detail? Now by the 1770s, California begins to look like what it does today, but can't go back to its natural state due to so many dams and levees holding it together. There are over 1,500 dams in California alone, literally holding back an entire sea. Now, the Mississippi River is the true Nile. The Nile of the fake Egypt does not match the description in Isaiah 11:15. It said the Lord smite the river into 7 streams. But the Nile we're given in Africa only has 2 major tributaries. And what is the largest river complex in America? The Mississippi. It's the only major river on earth that matches the description with 7 massive streams. There's also many Egyptian named cities across the Mississippi, and these are just the ones alongside the river, not considering the rest of the country. Now let's read about the death of Moses in Deuteronomy 34, which shows us his final journey and burial being in Utah, or Judah. All the locations mentioned are found here. This one puts the nail in the coffin. Then Moses went to the plains of Moab, onto the top of Mount Nebo. So a 70-hour walk from Moab to Mount Nebo. Okay, to the top of Pisgah. Pisgah, Utah, that is over against Jericho. Boom, Jericho, Utah, right across Mount Pisgah. And if you're not mind blown yet, you need to drink some wake up juice. But hold on, we still got more places to verify. And then the Lord showed him the whole land from Gilead onto Dan. Gilead, Utah to Dan or Daniel, Utah. Same thing. All these places are in the same vicinity to Mount Nebo. All of Naphtali, or Nephi, Utah, as in Naphtali being one of the tribes of Israel. The territory of Ephraim, right here. And now you won't find a Manasseh, Utah on the map, but there's a reason for that. The town no longer exists. It didn't survive. But there was a Manasseh in Utah. Give it a quick search and you'll see Manasseh is said to have existed right next to Ephraim. And what do we know about these 2 tribes? They were brothers. So of course they'd be right next to each other. Remember, it says Moses could see the whole land of Judah, or the whole land of Utah, from the top of Mount Nebo. This is what it looks like 12,000 feet high. And sure enough, you can see all these sites from this mountain. Now let's take a look at their little fake hill, Mount Nebo, in Israel, Palestine, which is only 2,000 feet. And it's not even a mountain, it's labeled a ridge, a hill. So why are you calling a ridge a mountain? You mean to tell me Moses could see the whole promised land from this little hill? It doesn't come close. That is a real mountain. There's also many more biblically named locations throughout Utah. Moses Rock. They told you Mormons named these places, but that's the cover story. That's the hijack. Mormons just knew they were setting up in the ancient lands, and they even talk about Indian tribes being descendants of the Hebrews. And while I'm not saying they are, it could explain all these ancient Hebrew artifacts that have been found throughout the US. Many of these tribes were at least in connection with the Israelites. And once you start to compare not only their cultural similarities, the artifacts, or even the linguistic similarities between the Native American languages and the Hebrew tongues, you will find a mountain of evidence. But that's a story for another time. America is the true promised land. And you know there's a spell cast when people can't see what's right in front of them.
that topic right there, man, will lead some people down a rabbit hole that then they're gonna have to accept some shit that they really don't want to accept. I'm not even gonna say it because I don't want to rub and ruffle some damn feathers, but that shit right there with where he's leading into, that shit will ruffle some feathers. I'm talking about shut some shit down. I already know it would. I see the comments. I know that shit would. Oh, bro.
There's a force moving beneath the surface of our world, quiet, subtle, and ancient. A current that twists truth, reshapes moles, and bends society toward confusion. Scripture calls it the mystery of iniquity, a hidden lawlessness already at work, threading itself through culture, institutions, and human hearts. You can feel it in the way right and wrong blur, in the way deception is celebrated and integrity is treated like an inconvenience, in the way people grow numb to injustice, yet hungry for destruction. It whispers through entertainment, pulses through technology, and settles into the rhythms of everyday life, so familiar that many no longer notice its presence. This mystery doesn't shout. It erodes. It corrodes. It rearranges the foundations of society, one compromise at a time, until darkness feels normal and truth feels offensive. And though unseen, its influence is unmistakable, shaping decisions, guiding desires, and preparing the world for a future it does not yet understand. The mystery of iniquity is working quietly, persistently, relentlessly. The question is not whether it exists, but whether we recognize it before it completes its work. Across the long, trembling timeline of human history, one name rises again and again. Babylon, a city of impossible ambition, a symbol of human pride, a system built on brilliance, yet fueled by corruption. From its ancient walls, blue as the heavens and carved with beasts of myth, Babylon declared itself eternal. A place where kings believed they could rewrite destiny, where power was worshipped and truth was traded like coin, where the strong devoured the weak and the weak learned to bow. But Babylon was never just a city. It was an idea. A blueprint for domination, a pattern of deception that seeped into every empire that followed. And though the original stones have long since fallen into dust, the system of Babylon lives on. It hides behind modern skylines and digital screens. It speaks through institutions, ideologies, and illusions. It thrives in the noise, where distraction becomes doctrine and confusion becomes control. Modern Babylon is subtle. It doesn't need walls or armies. It conquers through influence. It seduces through comfort. It manipulates through fear. It teaches people to forget what matters and to worship what destroys them. For centuries, Babylon has shaped the world, quietly, relentlessly, guiding humanity toward a future built on its own design. A design of indulgence, a design of deception, a design of spiritual decay. But now, something is shifting. The system trembles, the facade cracks. The lies that once held the world spellbound begin to lose their power, and the ancient warning echoes louder than ever. Fallen, fallen is Babylon. Not yet fully, but soon, very soon. And now, in this moment of unraveling, a challenge emerges. The Babylon is Falling Trivia Challenge. A live, one-of-a-kind event created to help you explore the hidden machinery of Babylon. Its ancient roots, its modern disguises, its prophesied collapse, and the chaos destined to follow. This challenge pulls back the curtain. It exposes the symbols, the systems, the secrets. It invites you to confront the truth behind the world's most enduring deception and to understand the fall that has already begun. As the world accelerates toward its final chapters, Babylon's grip tightens, its influence spreads, its illusions multiply, and yet its end draws near. Inevitable, unstoppable, foretold. For every empire built on manipulation eventually collapses under the weight of its own lies. Every kingdom raised in arrogance eventually bows to justice. Every system that feeds on deception eventually starves. The fall of Babylon will not be quiet. It will not be gentle. It will not be ignored. It will shake nations. It will expose corruption. It will tear down the idols humanity has trusted for far too long. And when the dust settles, the world will finally see Babylon for what it always was: a masterpiece of manipulation, a monument to pride, a warning carved into the bones of history. The end is not distant. The end is not theoretical. The end is approaching like a storm on the horizon, dark, heavy, and unavoidable. So the question is no longer if Babylon will fall, but whether you will be ready when it does. Join us for the live Babylon is Falling Trivia Challenge, a deep dive into prophecy, history, deception, and destiny. May 31st, 2026, 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. Order and download your tickets today. This is not just another event. This is not just another game. This is a moment of revelation, a chance to understand the system shaping your world, and the collapse that will reshape everything. This is the end times. This is the end game. Are you ready for the fall of Babylon? Get your tickets now. You do not want to miss this.
Jackson was killed with a laser beam.
Killed at 2 o'clock in the morning from a laser. And then 4 days later, they go into the house and find this bloody shirt of Michael's.
I thought it was because of the Sony thing. They wanted I believe there was some.
But that's because you don't have the information. Huh? Huh? I didn't come here to find out what you think. No, you didn't. You say you thought. I'm not interviewing you. You interviewing me. I don't want to hear it.
Well, my understanding was that he was going to get the Beatles catalog.
He already had it. Huh?
Okay.
He bought it for $48 million. When they killed him, it was worth $2.5 billion. Huh? We sitting here with respectful one. I don't want to hear what you thought. I saw the check, nigga. Huh? I got to sit here and what you thought. Who cares?
Europe, check it out, family. Man, look, I don't got time to be fighting no damn robot. But this video y'all looking at is the Chinese robot putting belt to ass, dismantling Americans' robot. As y'all can see, that's the American robot teaming up, trying to jump the Chinese robot, and that motherfucker got hands. And I'm trying to figure out why they got this robot prepared to fight this good like Bruce Lee. Switch is not gonna help on Funnel Grade. Shit is crazy.
I bet you they're gonna become our new cops, our new police department. Trust me, they got them as dogs too, bro. I believe so. What y'all think?
Below Los Angeles, that's been there for God knows how long, called Subtropolis. I'm sorry, what? I've never heard of such a thing, but I just saw a video today, and now my mind is blown because I've been obsessing over the fires and all the random information that I'm getting from people that live there, from the news, from TikTok. A lot of things, in my mind, don't add up with these fires. And I'm sure a lot of you agree with me. I've heard some theories, some a little way over here, but they also make sense. Some way over here, but those also make sense too. So there's an underground city, and the video, if you've seen the video, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, find the video now. It was called Subtropolis. But they keep it was giving Raiders of the Lost Ark vibe. That's the only way I can describe it. Like, you're gonna find some deep, dark government secrets. Well, find the video. So now you're telling me.
We're five brothers. I want you each to start a banking business in a different country. One to go and open a house in Paris, one in Vienna, one in London. Choose the most important centers, so that when money is to be sent from here to London, let us say, you won't have to risk life and gold and ship here in Frankfurt. We'll just send a letter to Nathan in London saying, pay so-and-so. And that will be offset by loans from London to Frankfurt. Understand? Here you are. In your day, there will be many wars in Europe. And nations that have managed transport will come to the Rothschilds because it will be safe.
Papa, you mustn't talk anymore. The doctor.
I'm giving advice to our sons, Mama, that the doctor cannot give. Remember, unity is strength. All your lives you must stand by one another. No one brother must be allowed to fail while another brother succeeds. Your 5 banking houses may cover Europe, but you will be one firm, one family, Rothschilds, who work always together. That will be your power.
Oh yeah, she should keep it going. I wonder if Jeffrey Dahmer got it.
Do you know who he is? Why are you taking pictures of them? With them? No, why?
Come on.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch you. Go home. You go home. No, not you. You stay here. Yeah, run! Hey! Walk with them! Prince! Walk with them. Walk them home. You're not Prince. You look like Prince. But you, I know you. Walk with them. I don't know who this guy is, but he's taking pictures of them little girls. Go. Take them home. Them right there. Take them home. Make sure they make it home. Janaya, I forget her name. Yeah, Janiza. Yeah, her. Make sure they get home. I don't know who that guy is, but he was taking pictures of them.
Still the real world out here we got to deal with.
Congressman Tim Burchett says aliens could be stationed in 5 or 6 underwater bases off the coast of the U.S.
There is a form of alien life and machinery which maybe brought this living creature here that interacted in some form with people.
A very high-ranking naval official described, I've talked about this before, underwater craft, something big as a football field, moving at over 200 miles an hour. And there's no fish in the ocean that would do that. We don't even have a sub that'll probably do 40 miles an hour under the... and the last thing he said before he left my office was, it was kind of weird because he didn't go out he went out the side door, which nobody ever uses. And he looked at me and pulled me up close and he said, Tim, they're real.
We already know they're in Antarctica. That's why ain't nobody allowed to go there. Because Antarctica is really all the way around us. The Earth ain't round, y'all. They ain't never been to space. And that's our next story. They're lying. And they didn't say it out their own mouth. Check it out. This motherfucker said this is going to be the first time people have landed on the moon.
This is the first time we're going to send humans to the moon, and we're going to have humans in low Earth orbit. That is awesome. Like, we should, as humanity, we should take a brief moment to go, that's awesome.
I thought we did that shit in the late 60s, early 70s. That's a race? So it was shot on studio lot and black and white film out in Arizona. Yeah, okay then. I knew it was fake, man, because he just had too many shadows. If there's only one sun, how come the astronaut got 6, 7 shadows? Ain't fooling motherfuckers who's in the business of acting. My mama told me they ain't meant to no goddamn moon. She was an operator for AT&T. And still knew they didn't go to no goddamn moon. They picked up a red phone and called the astronauts.
Yeah, I'm calling bullshit.
Oh, also, President Trump called the astronauts, and they refused to talk to the motherfucker. When you can't get a group of lying-ass astronauts to talk to the lying-ass president, something is damn near gone wrong.
Yo, did y'all hear over 100,000 bees just started swarming and attacking people out of nowhere? And so, bro, y'all know we are in some crazy times, right? Because the fact of the matter is everything that's happening over there, and then for this to take place right after Easter and Passover, 2 of the biggest spiritual resets on the planet. Look at this shit, bro. Whoa, those are bees, bro. Look at this. The bees are all over people's car and they're all over the ground as well. What is going on here? This is deeply symbolic because we literally just entered a new year, and then bees are pollinators. They are messengers of life. Even in some ancient cultures, bees were known as messengers of the sun, and they're the same colors, gold and black. The real sun is black. But it's like they made the car their home. Wow. Bro, y'all don't think this is symbolic? Yo, just like in the Bible, man, like something is going, the bees are messengers. They're telling us something is happening. Now, the bees clearly have some type of message because this is what happened to the bees on the ground, y'all. And I've been coming across dead bees. I made a video about it a couple months ago. But just for the fact that those bees attack those people like that, what is going on, y'all? And remember, just a few months ago, bro, those people were hightailing her. Remember, they were all getting on a bus. They were going somewhere like they knew something was coming. And now it looks like the bees are sending a message, man. What do y'all think it is? Let me know down in the comments below, man. The shit is here. We've been telling y'all we're in the midst of it. Let's continue to get it. Peace.
Movie poster or something coming out in theaters summer 2026. For all the NASA believers, I want you to look at this green screen mistake. There's letters in this little ball thing. Why? That's a huge colossal mistake that NASA made. You still believe it? NASA needs to give this up. And by the way, in 2027, they're going to send Artemis 3, which is going to have a lunar lander. So they're going to actually physically walk on the moon and put rovers and crap on the moon. This is a visualization of Artemis 2 re-entry. I don't want to see CGI and animations. I want to see you put a camera on a satellite and just film the re-entry. Don't do no animations. So the first day was around the Earth, which is the first 25 hours. And then you have the second day of flying to the moon and then back from the moon, which is another day. Let's just add another day for Six Flags stops, Buc-ee's, restroom breaks. Let's just add another day for that. So we're at 3 days on the trip. Where are the other 7 days? What are you guys doing? I already factored in the slow down time for your photos. What are they doing for the 7 days? And here's another thing. I want to see continuous footage, no cuts. Cameras pointing towards the moon, cameras pointing back towards the Earth. Cameras inside the capsule. Continuous feed where we can go and see and put all the cameras, camera 1, camera 2, camera 3, all on one screen, no cuts, live feed. You guys know, NASA knows that we doubt what's happening. So prove it by letting us see the Earth get small continuously or letting us see the moon get big where there's no doubt. You're doing all these cuts, man. No, until you stop playing games, we're not going to believe anything y'all put on the screen. But they need to give this space stuff up. People are too critical. People are too analytical, man. Social media will not allow the Matrix to live in peace. We don't believe it. People don't believe it. People are too skeptical and inquisitive about the facts. Just let it go. And at this point, you guys can tell us the Earth is flat. We know it's flat, but it's okay. We can handle it now. Just tell us the Earth is flat. You know, there's no space. There's no space aliens. We can handle it. We already know the truth. And God created a firmament which prevents people from leaving the Earth. We're just playing along at this point. We're just having fun.
Man, y'all think this is a game. What's really going on? Why is we even seeing a robot chasing these animals? What's the purpose? It gotta be a reason for this. Y'all, get prepared. Terminator coming soon. Our robot coming soon, man. On Fulham Grave. Shit is crazy.
Just for entertainment. What I'm saying ain't true.
I wanted to follow the footsteps of Madonna and be a powerhouse and have my own empire.
Michael is gone. Tupac is gone. Prince is gone. Whitney is gone. Amy Winehouse is gone. David Bowie is gone. But I'm still standing.
You know the guy that used to work for Ellen? DJ Twitch. Yeah. He tweeted something crazy. Oh, is that why? That's when he died. So, you know he tweeted while he was still alive? What? He tweeted, Ellen has eaten over 12,000 pizzas. No, you're lying. That's what he tweeted. And nobody understood what that tweet meant.
They'll name 3 names for your lady parts.
Mini mood, a pizza. A pizza is like when someone's nasty.
Now that the file is out and now that these code words are coming clear, people are realizing this is what happened right before he died.
Twitch was literally healthy. I think on the show, he was always like positive. He was doing backflips. Like he was mad healthy.
And I think he died of, was it pneumonia? Just like what happened to all the people Diddy was like enemies with. Yeah. Wait, let me make sure it was that. Let me just search it up. No, I'm thinking of somebody else. I'm thinking of someone else. So DJ Twitch was found in a motel room in Encino, California from a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
Self-inflicted?
Yeah, that's one of the ways a lot of people, you know, are said to have died. Like, look at Kurt Cobain.
Make no sense.
The evidence of our past resets can be found in more than just Tartaria. Look at the reshaped U.S., in particular, the island of California. Was this just a mistake by so many, depicting California as an island, complete with the same details, the same little islands in between that and the mainlands, and even with cities? Even the Japanese cartographers had California as an island back then. After the last reset, our lands were changed. Lush green oases turned to desert, and islands lost to the sea.
Y'all know how they got all these dams in California? Lakes, rivers that they said they made. Do y'all think that that's what's causing the earthquakes in California? That very last part can't keep in.
Something is very wrong, as these might not be human beings, and many who have gone near them are warning that something not from here has finally started to reveal itself. People were terrified after footage from Paris shows figures walking straight towards the camera with solid black eyes, no expression, with their bones coming out of the heels of their foot, and many warning these things are not only here and ready to attack, but they want us to know. Haunting footage shows the skin on the heel when pressed is exactly like living flesh, with veins, pores, and each one appearing in a different shade of human skin, with the museum now examining it and classifying it using only one word, mutation, and they won't tell us anything more. But it gets much worse as reports from the creatures themselves reveal each one of them is built from a full body scan using a real living person, matching their exact skin, veins, and down to individual hairs, just to make this, with more now being filmed gathering in Paris, each appearing in a different human form.
User Sticky Ricky 17 shows what he calls synthetic parasites coming out of his body.
Come here, buddy. I want to show you something. Come in here and close that door so there's no breeze. Shut that door. Come here. Yeah, that came out of my left foot area. Somewhere around my left foot, that came out of it. He's looking for you, buddy. I mean, I just don't know what to think. That thing is busy. I love you, boy. Yeah. All you mother denying and saying this is shit, yeah, you're a up.
You can go to his social media page and check this out. This is what he called. Leave your thoughts in the comments. Unanswered Universe.
You are going to want to watch this video in full. This is CCTV footage coming out of Europe, and at first glance, it captures what appears to be a car speeding down the street. But oh, there's so much more to this video. It's truly paranormal. But when you zoom in, you quickly realize this isn't a shadow or an insect or even an animal. This appears to be a paranormal being chasing that car, but it's going so fast. I have slowed down the video for you. This is wild. Comment below, let us know what you think this could have been or what this could have been.
discovered something, and this is wild. First off is Richard Simmons. When do you remember him passing? Somewhere a long time ago in your timeline? In this timeline, he passed away July 13th, 2024. Remember that. Next is Dr. Ruth. People remember in their timeline that she passed away maybe in the early 2000s, maybe even in the 90s, but she passed away in this timeline July 12th, 2024. Next is Shannon Doherty. People remember in their timeline that she passed away a while ago, but this timeline, July 13th, 2024. Again, July. Last is Bob Newhart. People remember Bob Newhart, the dedication of Bob Newhart on The Big Bang Theory and in Elf. Guess what time he passed in this timeline? July 18th, 2024. What is going on? And what is the probability of all these people passing away? RIP, first of all, RIP, 100%. But they all pass away. We all remember them in our timelines passing away way long time ago. And they all pass away in July of 2024. What is going on?
Is July the new time portal? Been doing that, bro. Y'all remember this clip? That shit's scary.
I wonder if Sabrina Carpenter and all of the other Coachella performers know that they're indirectly funding the MAGA movement. Yeah, if you bought a Coachella ticket, you're probably gonna regret it after watching this video. I'm just saying, but hey, at least you're having fun. Shout out to Jude Legum for providing me with this information. As you can see, here's how it works, right? Coachella is run by Anschutz Entertainment Group, a subsidiary of the Anschutz Corporation, which is owned by right-wing billionaire Philip Anschutz. Money from the Anschutz Corporation's treasury, which includes the profits from Coachella, is funneled directly to right-wing organizations that support key politicians, funding ICE, undermining LGBTQ rights, and restricting abortion. Anschutz Corporation actually donated $125,000 to the RGA on April 3rd, 2025. So I thought I'd take you further back in history a little bit. The company also donated $125,000 to the RGA in 2024, $100,000 in 2023, and $100,000 in 2022. RGA, which is organized as a 527 organization, has not yet had to disclose any 2026 donations. This part is one of the most important parts, though, because the Republican-controlled Congress has provided tens of billions of dollars in additional funding for ICE, right? The Anschutz Corporation donated $250,000 to the Senate Leadership Fund, a super PAC devoted to maintaining Republican control of the Senate on April 3rd, 2025. The company also donated $500,000 to the SLF in 2024 and $500,000 in 2023. In 2023 and 2024, the Anschutz Corporation donated a combined $375,000 to the Congressional Leadership Fund, the super PAC supporting Republicans in the House. Mind you, this festival was started to protest high ticket prices and was originally free. Hey, once again, at least you're having fun, right?
That shit what?
Everything I'm about to tell you is real data that I've cited in sources down below. In 1992, George Bush's administration rolled out the food pyramid to schools all over the nation. I remember the food pyramid. I'm sure you remember the food pyramid. That was our blueprint for eating as children. And it was taught in schools across the entire nation. Here's the thing most people don't know. Researchers and scientists in the 1990s were already fighting against it. Walter Willett from Harvard publicly criticized it, warning people that following this food pyramid would lead to insane weight gain and it could cause mass depression and anxiety. At the exact same time, there were other private industries in the food realm that were lobbying the US government, saying this food pyramid made no sense. The original food pyramid was literally delayed because of how much pressure it was under. But regardless, it was still pushed into every single school in America. Gotta target the children young, right? Okay, so now here's where it gets interesting. In 1991, okay, so just 1 year before this, wouldn't you guess it, P-Visor started developing Zoloft. And in 1991, again, 1 year before this, it was approved by the FDA under the same administration. Zoloft was specifically designed to band-aid fix depression and anxiety. Now here's the numbers, because you can't argue against numbers. From 1990 to 2019, depression increased 59%. From 1990 to 2020, anxiety disorders increased 55%. Probably wondering, well, what about the obesity rates in the 1990s? Well, they were sitting at 11.5% of all Americans. Come to 2020, and it's 41.9% of all Americans? Let me make this simple for you. That's a 264% increase. And at the same exact time, Zoloft alone, not talking about Ozempic or anything else, just Zoloft has generated $30 billion. Now, it could not have generated that much money at the time with the depression and anxiety rates in the 90s. I'm not telling you what to think. All I'm doing is showing you data. That's what I do here on my channel. I presented the data and evidence. Now it's up to you to decide if this is all a big coincidence or is there a system here? If there is a system, we got to start a conversation.
One of the crazy.
The Epstein Files in Disney movies. In Peter Pan, he takes the kids to an island where he's obsessed with youth and never growing up. In Pinocchio, the man says he's collecting little boys to bring to Pleasure Island. Where they do adult things, they turn into donkeys and he sells them into slavery. In Monsters Inc., they scare the children to get their energy for their own energy. What does that look like in that yellow tube? In Tangled, the old lady steals a baby so she can stay young. In Hocus Pocus, the old witches steal a child's life to stay young. And it says this at the end of the movie Enchanted. The Epstein Files in
the first.
Crazy when I told him the clouds might be man-made and used to block out the sun. So look, use this video when they try to call you crazy.
Hey, I don't know if y'all know this, but I actually work in a cloud factory. We create clouds and make rain for the city of Chicago. The government doesn't want you to know this. We control the climate.
They said he don't work there no more.
Imagine
one of the biggest cosmetic brands, designer cosmetic brands in the world. Their ex-formulator had contacted us. He said, quote unquote, the cosmetic industry is destroying women's cells. C-E-L-L-S, cells. And I said to him, why don't you say something? He said, I can't.
Well then.
We're talking about thousands of different chemicals.
The same chemicals being dumped and running through the rivers that are toxic are running through our blood.
For some of these chemicals, millions of children will be harmed before we actually decide whether it's toxic or not.
Skincare, hair, feminine care products have been associated with reproductive problems, ovarian, preterm birth, mercury poisoning, endocrine disruption.
What they don't tell women about wearing makeup. The skin is a human sponge and it absorbs things. So everything you put on your skin goes directly right in. An average female will absorb 4 pounds and 6 ounces of chemicals every single year.
Lot.
So here's an example of 4 pounds. This is how much chemical goes into your body through the skin every year. And there's about 515 different chemicals put on your skin every single day. From blush, foundation, shampoo, conditioners, deodorant, body lotions, hand cream, eyeshadow, lipstick, nail polish remover, which is very, very toxic. Some of these chemicals are carcinogens. Those are things that can cause. The problem is there's always a delay between cause and effect. You start accumulating these chemicals, you don't know when potentially you can have a problem down the road.
That looks nasty.
Everything you put in your skin goes into your bloodstream. And in the bloodstream, it'll act like oil and fat. That goes not just for massage oil, it goes for cosmetics, it goes for creams and ointments, it goes for sea water, it goes for fluoridated water. It's on the skin, it goes into the bloodstream. And the regular rule, and this goes straight across the line, is very simple. If you wouldn't eat it, don't put it on your skin. That goes for cosmetics and underarm deodorants and goes for lipstick and everything else.
I got some crazy news. So scientists have now linked parasites to out of control blood sugar. Why ain't nobody telling us?
They never will.
Research is showing that parasites trigger chronic inflammation, they destroy the gut integrity, and they hijack glucose metabolism. Some parasites even feed on glucose, forcing your blood sugar even higher so they can keep themselves alive.
Crazy.
Studies show that parasitic infections increase insulin resistance, alter the pancreatic function, and they weaken the immune system. These are 3 direct pathways to type 2 diabetes. So if you're having cravings, bloat, skin problems, or even random fatigue, or even blood sugar swings, you may be feeding Lil Pookie the parasite. This is why cleansing the gut is one of the first steps to reversing diabetes. So our parasite formula got wormwood, black walnut, cascara sagrada, clove, all that good
All
stuff.
that good stuff.
And these herbs have been scientifically proven to break the parasitic cycle, to restore your gut balance. And always remember, your gut controls your hormones, your immune system, and your blood sugar. So I strongly encourage you to tap the link below and get our parasite and detox clean. And remember, you hear your little gut, you might hear your little life.
Hello.
Shalom.
We might have to get off of Instagram, man.
America is currently being censored, particularly on this app. I was talking to a friend today in London, and he was asking me how I feel about all of the stuff going on with Iran. And, you know, I told him, and he was like, yeah, isn't it crazy what's happening over in Israel? And I was like, what's happening in Israel? He's like, you haven't seen all the bombs that are fallen on Tel Aviv? And I say confidently, no, because they have the Iron Dome that doesn't work. And he's like, wait, are you telling me you haven't seen any of the bombs that have dropped on Tel Aviv? And then I thought to myself, oh, TikTok was down this week conveniently during the start of the war. And they were down for 2 days because of an Oracle cloud issue. And the same way that when they bought it last month, they were down for 3 days because of an Oracle cloud
Oh, no, I remember what he's talking about.
And then the app gets handed back to us, and then we don't see anything. So I did some digging. And there are literally so many bombs being dropped right now and thrown at Israel, especially Tel Aviv, that their system cannot actively deflect all of them. Iran is not sending one bomb. They're sending cluster bombs that then do this when it enters the airspace. And Israel wasn't ready for that. And while we're talking about Iran, you have to understand who these people are historically and today. Iran is the founding place of like mathematics and all of those people there. Women, especially in mathematics, they are super geniuses in calculations.
Dang, that looks
historically
crazy.
So I think the technology that they have is being downplayed in America. America is telling us and showing us that Iran is some third world nation that does not have capabilities to fight. And the reality is much more gruesome and much more different than that. And to anyone who's watching this and follows my channel from around the world, just know that we are actively being censored. Once this app got into American hands, all you know, the handcuffs were off for them to not show us anything. And that was the beauty of this page, this app, was we actively saw conflicts around the world. We saw unadulterated, unfiltered points of view from people from around the world. I haven't seen a single thing since this conflict started about what's actually happening across the ocean. So if you ever see an American have a take that completely conflicts with what the reality is, we were already one of the most propagandized people. We already do that. But now, even more so, because our media is not talking about it. Traditional news sucks. They don't ever talk about anything. But if they're not talking about it, we're not seeing it here. Meta obviously has never shown anything. We're screwed.
This super chill dude is pounding this bell as hard as he possibly can in a vacuum, and he can't hear a single thing. But watch what happens when he adds air back into the chamber. Suddenly he can hear it again.
And as we let the air in...
That's loud.
Now I think you can hear the bell quite clearly.
Yeah, so think about this, guys. If you're on the moon in an atmosphere of virtually nothing, how are you going to hear any sound? Because sound cannot travel in a vacuum.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, so if you watch all of these spacewalks and all of the moon landings, there are multiple instances where you can hear them like rattling stuff around, or like how he was opening and closing that cooler. But we just saw in a real scientific experiment that he was pounding the bell as hard as he possibly could, and no sound was traveling, because sound is a vibratory wave that needs a medium to propagate through. Otherwise, it cannot travel to you and you cannot hear it. So sound in a vacuum is impossible, but I made this video for entertainment purposes only.
You guys know about the mattress theory, right?
No. Mattress theory?
Tell me why, If you look at mattress stores, a lot of them are across the street from each other. That's one. Two, mattress stores, they barely have anybody in there.
They never do.
How are you staying in business for years to come? You're beating out all the other businesses?
So you're saying that they're hiding things in those mattresses?
It could be laundering, it could be transport, it could be fronts. If you pay attention, really look at mattress stores, where they're located. A lot of them are near each other.
Like
they
literally,
never go out of business. How many mattresses do you buy every year?
You don't.
You don't. So how many other times do other people buy mattresses?
You probably buy one every few years.
Exactly.
If that.
I mean, to stay in business, you got to sell it, right?
So you're saying they stuffing people and or drugs and or money, like cartoon
I'm not
shit.
saying any. I'm not claiming anything. It doesn't make sense. That's all I'm saying.
It's like the mall, though. What's all those stores in the mall doing? How are they in business?
The mall is not the
Seriously,
same.
go to your local mall. Just look around. How's the kiosks?
Yeah, a lot of them.
How are they in business?
I don't know.
How are they making that much money?
Especially with Amazon right now.
When's the last time you actually went to a mall?
I actually just went first time in a
But
long
you like
time.
to buy like some clothes or whatever.
Nah.
What do they buy at malls?
That's what I'm saying. It's like always a bunch of empty stores.
It's fraud, right? So if you really think about it, if these stores aren't selling stuff the way they are, especially with Amazon and the competition is crazy right now. Think about this. You have a large overhead, you have all this inventory. How are you staying in business? Now you look at a situation like the Leering Center in Minnesota and all these.
The Learning Center.
Well, the Learning Center. Oh, remember the Leering Center? They forgot the N and the daycare fraud, right?
Oh, right.
So they have no kids, but you got $6 million a year for no kids. So you really got to look at all these other businesses because how are you staying afloat?
That's how they're going to crash the system.
They're going to
keep exposing this. We're going to find out everything's a fraud.
All the time.
Do they think we're stupid?
That's why we're $38 trillion in debt. And how are we able to print our own money, but we're paying taxes? Does that make sense?
How?
If we can create the money, why are we paying taxes? Does that make sense to anybody? You can just print it up, right? But we pay taxes. That's the fraud right there.
This whole place is built on it.
Does anybody else see this shit?
We're getting there. I'm telling you, that's why Trump is the last president of this regime.
Because once we show all the fraud that's going on over the next few years, when it goes from healthcare, when it goes to the school system, when it goes into all these other different industries, you're like, oh, what if all this is a fraud? We're done.
That's where we're going, guys.
Yeah.
Okay, can someone explain this pattern on the chicken?
3D printed?
What the is that? I like noticed it when I took it out to take the top off to let it brown, and it was all over it. And now that I took the top off, I can only really see it. I mean, you can definitely still see it, but it's weird. And I thought to myself, it must be the packaging, right?
Somebody said print it or not, it's under seasoned.
There's no crisscross anything. This is an organic whole chicken from.
I thought that was a boiled egg.
There's no hashing in the packaging. I'm freaked out.
All right, I'm done. I'm done.
Can I eat this chicken? Can I feed this chicken to my family? What is that?
I watched this back a few times, and I do find this quite strange. When you look at the skin of this chicken, it does have this woven pattern.
The entire planet was just 3D scanned using Pokemon Go. I cannot